Today's episode, we're going to discuss my top 10 sex appeal fragrances. This is from a series. I'm going to be doing different series, but this is what I call the Art of Seduction Series. What inspired this series is one, sitting back looking at the landscape of fragcom. People love compliments. A lot of people, I'm watching reviewers say 50 sprays on something. It's just a lot of stuff that goes against the whole science and how a fragrance should be experienced by you and how it's experienced about others. It just doesn't make sense to me at all. I think if you have to put 50 sprays on a fragrance, you probably should just get a new fragrance. But that was all based off of a book I love. I read numerous times. I always circle back on it, and that's from The Art of Seduction, the book The Art of Seduction from Robert Greene. Great book. So it was based on that. So these fragrances to me are absolutely seductive and scream sex appeal. But let me read a couple of excerpts and it'll go into kind of my thoughts into into why I say what I say and why I move the way I move, and why when people say, oh, these reviewers be lying, they don't get compliments like that, I just be like, no, you don't get compliments like that. I do. So one of them is like, seducers are never self-absorbed. Their gaze is directed outward, not inward. When they meet somebody, their first move is to get inside of the person's skin, to see the world through their eyes. Self-absorption is a sign of insecurity. It's anti-seductive. You oversprayers, right? So you want to be discovered, and there's ways to be enchanting and to be discovered. Now, part of what I'm gonna get into is the different types and architects of the art of seduction. And one of the art of seductions we're gonna get into that I want to really harp on is the dandy. So today we're gonna be talking about fragrances I believe fall under the dandy. Most of us feel trapped within the limit roles that the world expects us to play. We are instantly attracted to those who are more fluid, more ambiguous than we are, those who create their own persona. Dandies excite us because they cannot be categorized and hint at freedom we want for ourselves. They play with masculinity and femininity. I'm gonna say it again. They play with masculinity and femininity. Their fashion, their own physical image, which is always startling. They are mysterious and elusive. They also appeal to the narcissism of each sex. To a woman, they are psychologically female. To a man, they are male. Dandies fascinate, seduce in large numbers. Use the power of the dandy to create ambiguous, alluring presence that stirs repressed desires. I'm telling you, when I've had a big issue, looking at fragrance content, and it's like dudes, I'm like, I don't believe you need more people, because what they say goes against all sorts of things. I'll read a little bit more and then we'll get into it. Dandy style cannot be obvious, for dandies are subtle, and never try hard for attention. Attention comes to them. I don't know, bro. Your favorite reviewers, I don't know, man. The feminine dandy is for men. Which is the slightly ambiguous man, lures the woman in exactly what she wants. A familiar, pleasing, graceful presence. Mirroring female psychology, he displays attention, his appearance, sensitivity to detail, insight, colloquialness, but also hints at the male cruelty. Women are narcissists, in love with the charms of their own sex. You always see women complimenting each other. They do it all the time. Girl, you look beautiful. They're kind of narcissists by trait, and that's not a bad thing. They're somewhat self-absorbed. Men has never kind of been that way, right? By showing them the female charm, a man can mesmerize and disarm them, leaving them vulnerable to bold masculine move. The dandy. Everybody hit the like button, hit the like button. All right, I'm gonna end up doing 12. I said top 10, but it's really gonna be 12. This isn't no ranked order. I think all of these are good. I'm not ranking none of these. I think all of these are quality. And again, when I talk about them, I'm gonna tell you how many sprays, kind of how I'm gonna wear it, because some are a little bit stronger than others. So I'll try to break that down for you. Coming in at number 12. Number 12 is mostly because it is a new fragrance. And that's from the house of Day 3 Fragrances, and that's Midnight Raspberry. Midnight Raspberry, to me, this is a dandy, a seductive fragrance. Now, what I like about this fragrance is the patchouli in here acts as like shave natural dark chocolate is how it comes off. The florals and the raspberry in here. So what you get is chocolate raspberry on the wearing. This is sexy. It's sexy. The more I'm wearing it, it's not a loud fragrance. It's a subtle fragrance, which is what the dandy is. It plays on the masculine and feminine with the oud, the chocolatey nuances of patchouli and the raspberry. It is the perfect dandy fragrance, if that's what you're going for. Very good fragrance. Midnight Raspberry is a perfect Art of Seduction, the dandy kind of fragrance. That's Midnight Raspberry from Day 3 Fragrances. Moving on. Coming up next is a fragrance house that I was on them early in the game. Before they was discounted, but you still had to pay a pretty penny for this fragrance house. But this is from the house of Spirit of Dubai. No one really talks about this particular fragrance from the house. I like it. And this is Amal from their second generation, Amal. So with Spirit of Dubai, you're going to get a fragrance that's extremely long lasting. It uses real oud. The beauty with this fragrance, this is a rose oud fragrance. It's exotic. It's woody because of this masculine, woody, leathery, ambery base, but having a candied, almost florals up top. That's the combination that with the dandy, adding the masculine and the feminine and combining them. This is a beautiful fragrance. It is a beautiful fragrance. That's Amal from the Spirit of Dubai. This is a fragrance I talked about before. This is a sleeper fragrance. Nobody talks about this fragrance when they talk about sex appeal. Your favorite reviewers never really talk about this fragrance. This is coming from the house of Guerlain, and this is Patchouli Ardent. Patchouli Ardent. Now, this fragrance right here, what I would almost say about Patchouli Ardent is if you have, it's like a combination of two different fragrances to me. Like sort of like at times it smells like this one fragrance I like, then at times it smells like another fragrance, but it's almost like the little brother of Frederick Mahl's The Moon. It's like the little brother of The Moon from Frederick Mahl, but not really. Then at times I get this almost like fig tea, dark fig tea kind of leather fig tea kind of thing that I get in Le Labo Noir 29. So at times I get that, then it'll disappear, and then I'm like, no, it's kind of The Moon. Then I'll be like, no, it's more Le Labo, and then I'm like, oh, I'm getting a little bit of both. That's kind of what I get out of this. This is stunning. It's not going to cost you an arm and a leg. I have in YouTube shopping, I have a link for it to get down below for the best price that I've seen it for. But this is leather. Musk is clean. It's fresh. Musk is good. Musk leans on the feminine at times. Rose leans on the feminine at time. Although when you look back in history, rose was considered a masculine note. Kings wore rose. At some point during modern Western history, rose just became a woman thing. But over time through perfumery, I think we're getting back to rose and masculinity. But that rose, that feminine, that blooming pink rose in combination wrapped with leather accord with some musk, some spices. I think pink pepper might be in here, maybe. Or red currant. It's like pink pepper. It might be pink pepper in here. Absolutely. Patchouli Ardent is a absolute sleeper. How many sprays on this? I normally do about 5. I normally don't go over 5 on this. When I wear something like this, the reason why I don't spray a lot is if I'm on a date or I'm trying to attract people where I'm going, I'm hopefully, if I'm out solo dolo and I'm trying to go to the bar and I want to engage with the opposite sex, right? At some point, I'm hoping I can have a conversation with somebody, right? If that's my goal, which means I'm gonna have to get close to them anyway. I want something that's in the air when I pass them. I need to use the dandy, which is the female part. That's that rose. It's going to get them. Every single time, it's going to get them. Rose will get them every time in the nose. It's going to draw their attention. It's going to spark, and they're going to be like, what is that? But then when they start smelling these ambery, leathery, masculine notes, and then they look at you and you look like a grown-ass man, now we talking. So now when you say, hey, is the seat taken? You're sitting beside them, you're having conversations. That's where the dandy comes in. Patchouli Ardent. Love it. Moving on. This fragrance I discussed ad nauseum. It's been on at least 3 or 4 lives. When it comes to sex appeal, when it comes to being interesting, when it comes to being intriguing, memorable, when it comes to the dandy of having both masculine and feminine, this fragrance has all elements of it, and I will continue to talk about this fragrance. This is also from the house of Guerlain, and this is Oud Nude. Oud Nude. The beauty about Oud Nude is it's an extremely wearable, woody oud. Nothing animalic. It's raspberry rose that slightly teeters on being jammy, but not so much. Not so much where it's crazy, but it's there. It has that vanilla in there, that almost spiritualise double vanille that lingers kind of in the background, that Guerlain vanilla. Get yourself a sample, go to your Neiman Marcus or whoever sells Guerlain, smell it, put it on skin. It might not blow you away as, oh my God, I smell fragrances like this. I get it. It's not that unique if you've been into a lot of rose oud fragrances, but put it on skin and you will find it becomes a narcotic on your skin. You will find yourself smelling it and going back to your wrist every day. And that's how I got a bottle. I was like, it's cool. And for hours, I kept doing this for hours because it kept drawing me in like a narcotic. Oud Nude from Guerlain. Moving on. Next up on the list, when you start talking about vanilla is an aphrodisiac. From the house of Electimuss, this is Spice d'Arno. Spice d'Arno from the house of Electimuss. This is vanilla. I feel like I get a little bit of suede, a little bit of leather in here. Spices, cardamom, I believe is in here. Maybe a little bit of nutmeg. It's kind of fresh up top, bright up top. The vanilla is what plays. The spices is a warm, inviting feeling. Reminds you of baking or cooking. Might remind you of your grandmother, an experience, the cooking shelf, Christmas, the holidays, Thanksgiving. It harkens back to that. But then it has the masculinity of the woods in the base, the oud, things of that nature. The dandy, Electimuss, is one of the dandies in the art of seduction. Moving on. This fragrance, when I first got my nose on it from my Connect in Maryland, I was like, I like this. I said, I got to get a bottle of this. I bought it immediately. This is from the house of Mind Games. This is Mentor. Mentor from the house of Mind Games. This one is a little bit heavier. So with this, I go about 4 sprays if I want to be enchanting. About 4. I don't do over 4. Now, if I'm going somewhere and I'm just kind of just want to wear this fragrance out and I'm going to be, let's say, somewhere where I'm competing with a lot of fragrances, that also matters. Am I competing? Am I going to a cigar lounge, right? where I'm gonna be in there, it's a cigar event or a bourbon event where I'm gonna be competing with a lot of different odors, right? Then I might go about 6 to 8, depending on the level of competition I'm going to be around on this, because it's a little bit denser. But this has this underlying booziness with this plum in here. The oud, I believe it's called Oya oud. It's just a nice woody, nothing animalic, extremely wearable. It's kind of like incense, a little smoky in here, but has some regality to it. Just very like royal, very royal. It gives off a royal feel, and that's why I like ouds. Absolutely amazing. One of the dandies in the Art of Seduction. It plays on that rose, that plum, these dark sweet fruits with the dry woods, adding that masculine and feminine. Mentor, one of the dandies. Moving on. This is a fragrance that is extremely fruity. Extremely fruity. That's the beauty of this fragrance, and it leans towards the feminine. It's a fruity, like heavy on the fruits. And this comes from Get Right Fragrances. And this is Berry Oud. Berry Oud. This one was sent to me, for those who say I need to disclose it. This was sent to me. Along with Midnight Raspberry and Spice de Arno also came from the brand. So take that with a grain of salt. If you don't believe me, cool, but I'm not about to argue about it. This fragrance has been a wonder to wear when it's cool. Wear this out at night. This is one I like to wear out at night, but if it's a little bit cooler outside, where, you know, it's the daytime, or you're gonna be, you know, it's heavy winds and you're gonna be leather jacket, scarf, things of that nature, you can wear this in the daytime. But anyway, that's Berry Oud from Get Right Fragrance. The next fragrance is a fragrance from a house that I've talked about already, and that's Fakama. Kama from Spirit of Dubai. You get that warmth, that coffee is here. And the way the coffee blends with this rose, like coffee rose, is very interesting. And that's what this is. This wears so damn sexy. And it don't need a lot of sprays. About 4 sprays. About 4 sprays is where I'm at with this. Again, a lot of things come down to where I'm at and what I'm doing. If I'm going to a cigar lounge, I might do 6 to 8, maybe. I don't know if I'm doing that much. I'm kind of chilling, but I might do about 8. And depending on where and how many people and who you sitting around, you might be able to up it to 10. But I think at that point, you can just choose another fragrance to wear. But Fakama from the Spirit of Dubai, amazing fragrance. This next fragrance, I don't think you can really talk about seduction, sweet. This is Sex in a Bottle from the House of Roja. This is Amber Oud. Amber Oud. Oh, bro. Can you say date night, sex appeal, seduction, allure, enchantment without saying Amber Oud? Listen, you can be married and still, you should be still trying to seduce your wife when you go home, your girl. You could be in a 10-year relationship. Are y'all not trying to seduce each other? So this ain't always for the single man. Keep it spicy. Role play. You know what I'm saying? Role play. You know what I mean? Have fun with it. Amber Oud. You should still be, if you're a man, because most of my watchers are male, you should still be trying to seduce your significant other every single day. You should be trying to turn her on all the time. She should probably grab your hind parts. You know how the old people say your hind parts. When you walk by her, she should want to grab your hind parts. Because she like, damn, I kind of want some of that. You know, when you're probably in a long-term relationship, you got to make plans like, hey, can I get on the calendar for some of that? Make it happen. Whatever you got to do. Get you some. Get some. Amber Oud, Seduction in a Bottle. When you want to talk about comforting, every now and then you want to do something that teeters, if not goes full on gourmand. This is Sweetie Oud from the House of Roja. This is the new presentation. I prefer the old presentation, but this is what they selling now. Y'all know the feeling on this. Baked goods, like a warm pastry cooking. And listen, I could easily put my top 10 Rojas on this list. Easily. It is seduction in a bottle. But Roja does that because the Roja is never room. Well, I ain't gonna say never, but at least the ones I have aren't room filling. They are sillage kings. They attract. And because they're interesting and complex, attaches to scent memory. They might not remember what you were wearing, but they're gonna remember how you smell. That's why wearing a fragrance is important. They'll never remember what you're wearing. They will always remember how you smell. And how you smell will also make them remember how you made them feel at the time. That's important. If you're a jackass, scent memory won't work. But if you're pleasant, good conversations, intellect, and you smell good, it's a winner. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Sweetie Oud. Moving on. This next fragrance is, out of all the fragrances from this line, this was my favorite. This is my favorite from this special line of this house. This comes from the House of Cartier. And this is Oud Santal. Oud Santal from the House of Cartier. This here, man, it's just simple, clean, a little bit of sweetness, not too sweet. Listen, everybody who says Oud does not get compliments have trash Oud. It just is what it is. I stopped listening. I stopped listening to those people. If they just say Oud don't get compliments, rather they're new to the fragrance game and they just don't know better. I look at their age. Their age matters. It matters. I don't know if I'm per se walking around smelling like Oud in my 20s or 25s. So I expect certain things from young people. To me, young people. I'm in my mid 40s. I call them young people, right? I expect certain things. I expect certain things to come out their mouth, right? They don't know no better. And it's just not for them yet. And that's okay. It don't make me better than them. But I know who my core audience is based on algorithm, right? This is simple, bro. This is dry, woody, burning. The smell of sandalwood is very spiritual, has spiritual qualities to it. Well, Oud does too. So when you add the spirituality of it, which is very zen almost, and you throw plum on there, you have a little bit of smoke from Oud. Oud Santal from the House of Cartier. Absolute winner. The last fragrance on this list, and then I'll get into an off conversation on why I hate the first date being dinner. I think it's just too performative. From the House of Boadicea the Victorious is Alsif. Now, this has been compared to Nemur from Boadicea the Victorious. These two are nothing alike. Nemur is bright and fresh in the opening with lemongrass, I believe lemon or bergamots up top. I believe it's lemon up top. It's very citric forward up top. The rose used in Nemur is bright, which supports the citruses. The oud that dominates the life of the fragrance is extremely buttery, woody, smooth, dry, a little peppery to me. I might just do three. A bar, I don't go over 6. But 6 might be pushing it, but it depends on what kind of bar I'm at. a speakeasy? Is it loud? Like it's a lot of different variables that I take into consideration with sprays. So it's no one thing fits all, unless you're something like Blue Sapphire, then it's like 2 sprays and I don't care what you're doing. 4 at the most. But 4 is like crazy. You're kind of psychotic. Anyway, Alsif is the last fragrance in this Art of Seduction series called The Dandy. Seduction in the bottle, playing on the masculine and feminine takes. With that being said, those are my top 12 seduction, sexual, sex in a bottle appeal fragrances.
It's the new Cypher.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?